Hey guys, I have a prototype. That always excites me. And it's a prototype that makes me think of a car analogy. Remember when Audi bought Lamborghini? Uh, Lamborghini used to make pretty impractical but brutally fast cars that were extremely Italian. But then they were acquired by Audi and they started making brutally fast, loud, four-wheel drive cars with really, really trick internals based on Audi. Imagine then, if you will, if a German gun maker decided to make an Italian gun. This is the Blaser FBX and it's a prototype. The gun launches on the 28th of January 2025 and I have this gun ahead of launch. This gun has been loaned to me by Frederick Henner, the CEO of Blaser UK, and this is a production prototype that I've been allowed to play with so I can make this video for you to show it off. And it is a very, very interesting. They've taken an F3 as the basis of the gun. You can see if you look that way on that the internals, the bottom end of the internals is based on an F3, and the lockup, the trigger. I mean, this gun, as I said, it's a prototype, so it's actually still stamped up with some F3 markings. But they then have added weight, they've added design in service of this center mass technology. That's their buzzword. And it's about basically not only having perfect CG, center of gravity being a balance point, but also center mass. And center mass is, if anything, even more important. Think about my car analogy again. You can build a car with perfect 50-50 weight distribution, but if the center of mass is way up above your head or even at like chest height, it's going to wobble, it's going to wander around like a jelly mold, and you're going to have to give it really, really stiff springs in order to stop it from leaning in corners. Sports cars, low center of mass, keep them low to the ground, and therefore the body tends to roll less. It's a similar ethos that they've decided here, which apparently is due to research that they've been doing at Blaser based on high-speed photogrammetry of swinging the gun. And apparently, when you keep the mass low, the swing is better. It's more repeatable and there's less torque. Interesting. So, obviously this is a non-production gun, but I'll go through the oily bits and I'll talk about design as I get through it. But bear in mind, things will slightly change on the production models. 32-inch barrels on this one. I don't know what barrel lengths will be available, but I'm assuming they'll also do them with a 30. Fixed choke available, as well as a thin wall multi-choke option. 11 to 7mm tapered top rib with the Blaser kind of tram line without a tram line checkering that you get on them. Ventilated mid-rib, ventilated top rib. The thin wall chokes are 1/3 longer than those fitted to the F3, as is the constriction of the fixed choke guns. The thin walls are about balance. The forcing cone length has also doubled. It's again about reducing recoil. Two design ethos on this. Perfect weight distribution, perfect center mass, and also to make the lowest recoiling shotgun, apparently. The forend is a new design. We have a redesigned forend latch, and then the weight system. The weight system is inside the forend rather than on the barrel. And again, that's about keeping the weight low. So the weights attach via torque screws to a bar in the forend iron and keep the weight down low. 3-inch chamber, superior steel proof 18-6 bore. The action, internally as I said, based on the F3, but you can see it's been significantly beefed up, okay? So they've thickened the top part here around the top of the breech face to give you more bearing surface. Obviously this is going to increase the longevity of the gun. And then they've massively thickened up the action. If you look at this next to an F3, you can see this part of the gun is just significantly wider. I haven't measured it. I will find out perhaps when I interview Frederick at the shooting show, but they've increased the thickness and therefore the mass, but then they've kept the weight low by adding these lobes on the action fences. Again, keeping that weight down low in the action. The trigger is still inline hammers that you get on an F3, but It's now on a removable trigger plate, which is intriguing. Apparently this is because fit-ask shooters have a 10-minute rule if they have a malfunction, and basically they wanted the ability to change out a trigger group in less than 10 minutes. It does, however, require a Blaser screwdriver that I don't have with me at the moment, so I can't take it out to show you, but I am assured that basically it's the same inline hammers with the very fast lock time that you get in an F3. No change to the controls up top. We have safety, top lever, barrel selector is down here or next to the mechanical trigger. And then we come back into the stock. The stock, you will notice as soon as you pick this gun up, is thick, right? It is thick down through the neck, it's thick into the palm swell, and then it's thick in the stock itself. The wood is on this grade 7. However, standard guns will come with grade 5. £12,100 RRP, £9 4 ounces all in, with all the weights. And it will become supplied with weights for the fore end and in the stock. The thickness back here is also in service of that low recoil, because apparently when you thicken this up, A, it distributes recoil more evenly into the shoulder, but then B, having this thickness up here distributes weight into your wrist, which again reduces felt recoil in the body. The whole thing is this marriage of design and functionality, which is one of the things I really like about German guns. Yeah, the Germans very much have this nailed, I think, when it comes to marrying something pretty to something functional. And that's what this is, right? It is absolutely a tool, all right? And that kind of, if you see German watches, German tool watches, German cars, German guns, they have this kind of tool-like feel to them. They're super functional, but whilst they can also be pretty. Shooting it, you will notice immediately. The centre of mass thing I didn't notice, or I did definitely notice the weight between the hands. The centre of mass being low down is something very much, I think perhaps I might not even be a good enough shot to appreciate it, but definitely in shooting, the swing is very, very deliberate. The recoil is superb. I mean, the recoil is non-existent. It's really, really nice to shoot. Very, very heavy, very, very obviously a deliberate clay smasher, not a sport, not a game gun by any stretch of the imagination. Now, this is the basic gun, I say basic, grade 5, DLC coated. The whole gun is now coated with DLC to give this really, really superb quality of material on the action and on the barrels. Very, very hard wearing, resistant to corrosion, etc. But there is going to be a prettier one. They are also going to do an engraved version. Now, I haven't seen it, but I am told that it is stunning. Can't wait to see it. Hopefully we'll have one at the BSS when I have a chance to talk to Frederick, and also hopefully we'll have a chance to do a proper full review on the production gun when they are available. This is a prototype, so I'm kind of being careful about my opinions, but I can only tell you how this gun shoots and how this gun feels. And you can tell it's a prototype, but I'm very hopeful that if this is the quality of the prototype, the actual production gun is going to be superb. Now, this gun is very, very clearly aimed at another gun that was released last year, designed with very, very similar design ethos, very, very similar goals. So I'll be really interested to see how the two fare and how they manage through the next sort of 18 months, 2 years in terms of shooter feedback and how many they sell, because obviously this gun is considerably cheaper than its direct competitor. Really, really interesting and very, very aggressive move by Blaser to bring this out, and I do think it is going to be an interesting time in the sport to see how these guns match up against one another. So guys, what do you think? I'll be really interested to see your feedback. A few weeks time I'll be at the BSS. you can grab me there. Of course, please do comment, like, subscribe, the usual stuff. If you are looking for a set of ear defenders, please use my discount code to get money off a set of Sens. Merch is available from the Koyo merch store. And of course, if you really want to support the channel, you can join, get the additional benefits of being a member, and of course get access to the chat channel where there is a regular crack and peeks into the background of what's going on the channel, etc, etc. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed it. I look forward to seeing what you think down below, and I'll see you next time.